Welcome to Sunday League Podcast. You know we can talk trash. If you ain't with it, you can fall back. Welcome to Sunday League Podcast, the podcast. Welcome to Sunday League Podcast, the podcast. Welcome to Sunday League Podcast. You know we can talk trash. If you ain't with it, fall back. Welcome to Sunday League Podcast, the podcast. Welcome to Sunday League Podcast, the podcast.
What's cracking, you fucking bush leaders, and welcome to episode 103 of Sunday League the podcast. It's me, Bowski. I'm all by myself. I'm chilling. DH is out in Europe doing stuff, looking at European things, drinking European beer, and I don't know what the fuck else he's doing. I did see that he posted a picture of a monster that he drank. So Monsters International. So shout out to that. I'm a big monster guy myself, if you didn't know. But if it's your first time here, welcome. Welcome to the show. We talk Sunday League ball, Major League ball, talk about our fantasy leagues. We have a good time here. We like to drink a little bit. So I'm going to do my best impression of Around the Horn, which I can't really go around the horn by myself. But I used to play Butts Up a lot by myself when I was a child. So anyways, I'm drinking... My lovely wife made me a cranberry vodka. She stepped out of the room, and I don't feel awkward anymore. I was trying to get this show started, but she's making me feel awkward, and, she stepped out. Thank God. No, I'm kidding. She's probably laughing at herself right now, like, haha, I made him feel funny. But anyways, here we are. It's some Sunday League opening weeks around the country, I think. Not entirely sure, but I know in the FBL opening day started today. But before we get into that, talk about my week real quick. Didn't do much. I recorded some Red Sox shit. Opened up some baseball cards. Yeah, we got a lot of content around here for you fucking bush leaders. So if you're interested in any of that, check out the links down below. You'll have yourself a good time. Hopefully, get to know us a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting week, sort of, not really. Work. The working man is a sucker, but hey, I get to listen to my podcast. You're listening to this podcast while you're at work. So that's always a plus, in my opinion. Breaking those norms and just, tuning out and going into autopilot and just doing the damn thing, getting your grind on. And so anyways, let's move this shit right along. It's probably not going to be too long of an episode. This is the one with Bowski all by himself. Probably going to do a little promo clip art with the John Travolta character from Pulp Fiction, where he's just kind of like standing, looking around, wondering where everybody's at. I'm going to put my head on that body, and hopefully it comes out good for the promo art. So anyways, some fantasy baseball updates real quick. So in our personal league, just want everybody to know that DH lost to Lil Rube. So shout out to Lil Rube for doing the damn thing. Putting DH down the standings a little bit. If y'all didn't know, DH's team name in our personal fantasy league is Hot Swing Sauce. I don't know, kind of corny. Still haven't renamed him for him being a Mariners fan, me a Red Sox fan. Red Sox won series recently against them, and I get to rename his team name for a week, but I haven't got to that yet. So if you have any suggestions, please send them over, and we will make that change. So other than that, and I also won myself for this week, so shout out to me for being dope. But in our league sponsored, or our podcast sponsored league, fantasy wise, the World Pod Classic, we talk about it every week. It's been an interesting 2 weeks to say the least, but something that never ever has happened in probably in the history of points leagues. is a tie, right? So for the first time in history, probably, there was a tie between Monday Mojo and is it 7:05 yet? No, it's 12:02 a.m. They actually ended up tying in what was it, week 10, 366 to 366, which was enough to beat every single team in the league except the top two teams for that week, and they ended up just getting a draw out of it. So that kind of sucks, but hey, it is what it is. And so, but in that week, which was we didn't really get to cover that week in our previous episode. Shout out to Take a Pitch. They beat the Yips podcast 295 to 266. Real Talk Baseball holding it down 372 to 363 against the top of the lineup. Our boys Juan and Soto. Boxy Banter beat the Juggernaut Dingers and K's 362 to 357. SoCal All Angels Pod Halo D taking the dub against the youngsters of the Steel podcast 299 to 282. The Deep Fryer beats the crap out of my boy Chris. We watch, we collect 388 to 247. That's a big margin. It's about 140 points, 141 points. Newcomer Hipster Baseball Pod got a dub in his debut week against the Pesky Pole Podcast Nation 223 to 186. And us, the super juggernaut, Sunday League, the podcast. And by us, I mean me. Sunday League, the podcast, the fantasy team, 293 to against Gonbridge, 131. Now that is a big points gap, to say the least. Quick math, not a math pod, but it's 162 points. This was for Father's Day weekend. So happy Father's Day to me for being their daddy. Sup, boys? Holler at me. Gone Bridge. Shout out to them. Great Red Sox podcast. So, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff there. And moving on into the current week, which will have the final results here. Good stuff. I mean... Oh, wait. Let me backtrack for a second. So, last week was kind of funny because not only do we have the tie for the first time ever. The ESPN Sunday Night Game of the Week had three of the matchups in the league linked to it, and I believe it was the Astros against the White Sox in the Sunday night game, and it was fun. It was fun bantering back and forth between this the six matchups. I guess the six teams that were going head to head could have really changed the whole structure of the standings where they had stood at the moment. But it was some nice baseball drama. But this week there was a little bit of actual drama where we can get into it a little bit after we won't get too much into it. I don't want to give too many details. But, kind of between Mariners and Angels fans, to say the least, is kind of due to the brawl that happened earlier today between the Anaheim Angels and the Seattle Mariners, which was rather interesting. It was a very interesting little brawl. But I mean, people were throwing, everybody was in there. It looked pretty intense, So there was some back and forth between two of the podcasts. I'm not going to say who, but Mariners fans and Angels fans. And it was very interesting. I got the popcorn out, and I was at work, so it was very entertaining. And I mean, hey, it's funny because you have two poverty franchises talking shit to each other, and I'm over here the Red Sox. I'm just like, look at these two guys talking my shit, of course. But no, shout out to everybody in the league. But just to run down this current week real quick, the Yips podcast beats. Is it 7:05 yet? No, it is 12:07. They beat them 299 to 197. Monday Mojo, a Mariners podcast, beats Real Talk Baseball, the reigning champ, 308 to 287. Take a Pitch wins by 10 points, 200 to 190 against Boxy Banter. Top of the lineup, gets himself a dub against the Steel Podcast, 274 to 244. The Deep Fryer, I believe this is his lowest scoring week of all time, but beats the SoCal All Angels podcast, an Angels podcast. So Deep Fryer beats them 260 to 225. The Hipster Baseball Pod, great pod by the way. Very interesting presentation. I love it. Second week in a row, gets another dub against the boys at Gone Bridge, 214 to 169. Nice. Pesky Pole Podcast Nation beats We Watch We Collect 228 to 159, and the two juggernauts in the league. Sunday League, the fantasy team, beats Dingers and K's 369 to 313. I believe there's a bit of a typo here because last time I checked, we had actually broken the record for points in one 7-day week. And I say a 7-day week because the opening weekend is like a week and a half long, right? But yeah, I had checked it. It was 422 points to whatever they had. It was like 428 to like 360 or something like that. Regardless, a win is a win, and I'm excited. Puts the fantasy team at 10-1. But we'll run down the standings as they become a little more current next week. For next week's episode, don't want to drag that out for too long. Let's move on to our Sunday League love. I mean, this is Sunday League, the podcast after all, where we talk, Sunday League ball, the whole Sunday League culture and all that good stuff. So just getting right into it, we have talked about the Maui Adult Baseball League before in the last few weeks. They had an all-star game and all that good stuff, but more importantly, they had a home run derby where you can vote for some of the players that were there. I don't exactly remember who we voted for, but I'm pretty sure we did not vote for the winner, who hit a total of 21 home runs. Their spring 2022 home run champ, Isaiah Madela. Congratulations to that guy. You can see the post for that on the IG. It's in the stories. Go check that out. And moving right along, it was FBL opening day, the Fontana Baseball League opening day. This is pretty much our bread and butter league. Former players in the league, a bunch of great guys, great talent. So let's get into it. Let's get into these scores real quick. I'm just going to go down the list that's on the FBL website. The Tropics beat the shit out of the Titans. I'm not entirely sure who the Titans are, but they got their asses whooped 14-2. So shout out to the Tropics. We're going to be making we'll probably be making our picks for this season on our next episode. But I can tell you right now, I'm probably going to pick the Tropics. Just to keep stirring that pot. Moving along, the California Reds went up against another new team, the Gators. So Gators, a couple of former teammates of mine, they ended up losing 4-3. Shout out to the Gators for jumping into the league. Next game, the Upland Mets played against the SoCal Royals, the two most recent champs, right? SoCal Royals, shout out. They win 9-4. They made an opening day statement against the reigning champ, the Upland Mets. The Mets! I'm pretty sure it was a pretty good game. Saw a couple of the highlights. Of course, great wood bat league. So, I would recommend any team that wants to really, use something as a barometer, use this division as your barometer. Moving it along, the Sun Devils smoked the Yankees. The Yankees, they probably need to be relegated to one of the lower divisions, and I'll get into that in a bit. Sun Devils beat the shit out of them 12-1. And in the final game here, the Pride went up against the Indians. The Pride win 4-3. So there's a lot about the Indians. Pride is a pretty good team. So, if it's a one-run game, I like it. I like it a lot. So in this division, the Majors would, we have the Expos who had a bye. So that sucks. Byes in Sunday League ball suck, especially when the following weekend you have a holiday weekend in 4th of July. I don't know. I probably would have waited another week to start the season, but then again, I mean, if you have players itching to play, it's a tough decision to make. Moving on to the AAA Wood, a new team, the IE Space Cowboys. I need to see these guys. I got to see them. Anyways, they had a bye. And in the other two games, there's only 5 teams in this division. And mind you, looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 11 teams in the top division and 5 teams in the bottom division. I would relegate a team to the AAA Wood. I've already said who, just to make it fun. That way there's no bye weeks because you kind of just have to add an extra week to your league schedule if you do that. So, IE Space Cowboys have a bye this week. And moving on to the next game, the Drillers play the Dirtbags. Drillers win 7-3. And that's it. I got nothing on both teams. Don't know who they are or what. In the other game, the Winos went up against the Phillies. Don't have too much on those teams either. I believe I work with a guy that plays on the Winos. I'm going to have to reconfirm that. Got to check everybody out at some point, right? So we'll get the score for that next week, I suppose. Not sure why it's not updated. Let me see. AA, which is Metal Bat Division. And I did mention that AAA was Wood. So shout out to that. At least it's Wood. AA Metal Bat Division, my favorite. The Toros. Shout out to the Toros. They win 6-5 against Zacatecas. The Mudcats went up against the Rough Riders. Mudcats beat the shit out of them 17-6. The Cerveceros went up against the Tomateros. It's some good old-fashioned Mexican League game. Cerveceros win 11-5. And the Águilas del Sur lose to the IE Wolfpack 11-3. So the Wolves beat the Eagles. There you go. Good stuff. And down into the single A division, which is probably a crappy ass division. Leones de Yucatan. Leones de Yucatan 10-0 against the Aztecas. El Blazers confirmed. It was El Blazers. I know last week we were like El Ballers. No, it's El Blazers. They lost 3-10 against the Kansas City Royals. Shout out to the Kansas City Royals for relegating themselves from Major League Baseball into the single A division of the FBL. Los Tigres played against the Phillies 7-4 in the favor of the Tigres. Tigres. They need to fix that spelling. I'm so literal. Let's see here. Moving along. The Padres played against the Rieleros. No score. And the Dukes played against Rio Frio. That's Cold River for you non-Spanish speakers. Dukes, Rio Frio. No score. Update it. Somebody get the league to update it, please. Really need to know. Just kidding. So, yeah, that's it for the FBL. So, shout out to the FBL opening day, Fontana Baseball League. My favorite fucking Bush Leaguers, FBL, huh? Get it? We talked about that last week. And so, yeah, it's always a good time in the FBL, always competitive. But another league that's very competitive is the Aztec Baseball League, the neighboring league. And so we have a champion for the top division there. We need to talk about those lower divisions in the future. Shout out to the Diablos. Trying to get a feature up on the Instagram. Yo, send me some stuff and we'll put it up. So shout out to the NY Yankees or the New York Yankees. Not entirely sure NY, but yeah, they ended up winning the series 2-1 with a final overall record of 15-3. They defeated Del Rio, that would be the pest control, 12, which they finished with a 12-5 record. So shout out to the Aztec League. They're always competitive as well. Shout out to the Fontana Marlins for doing the damn thing over there, and which used to be the California Rockies, by the way. And shout out to all the fucking bush leaguers out there, man, in that division, in that league as well. I mean, I know it could be be a little if you're traveling far, far and away, like the Hammered Heads, who for whatever reason decided to go play in that league. Hopefully, it's just for a season and they make their way back. And so, yeah, shout out to everybody. Congrats if you got a dub. If you didn't, get your ass back out there next week and fucking do better. Score some more fucking runs and stop being a fucking jabroni. Stop drinking the night before. Stop trying to get them drunk dingers because you ain't going to get them. No hangover homers don't happen in the summer, man. That's a winter thing. So, yeah, moving it along. My Z Fighters got their asses smoked last week. I believe we gave the updated score. It was like a 17-4 against the Dykes or something like that. The Vikes. Yeah, so we'll have those updates for you fucking bush leaguers next week for those that are interested. But yeah, go check out Z Fighters vlog on the old YouTube. Always a good time checking out their stuff. And so that's kind of wraps it up for the old Sunday League talk in the area, at least. There's plenty of leagues out there. If you're trying to get talked about, send us your information. We did put out a post for you fucking bush eaters to give us your rants or anything you want to say. Shout out your team, where you're from, and all that stuff. But hey, I got nothing. So maybe next week. So yeah, like I said, you want to hear your sexy fucking voice on here? Well, send me an audio clip, please. And so, yeah, let's move it along and let's wrap this up with a little bit of Bowski's Buffet before we get out of here. We're not going to do too much of this Major League Baseball talk. I mean, you can hear about that stuff just about anywhere else. But, just a couple of things that, wanted to just touch on, not get too deep into. Don't want to elaborate much. But Milwaukee Brewers, Lorenzo Cain was DFA'd after reaching 10 years of service time. Shout out to that because it was mutually agreed upon. And, it's basically the Brewers taking care of their guy. Of their guy that's basically, his career's pretty much done, I would say. If he's DFA'd, right? I mean, at least he's going to collect his pension and all that good stuff. Whatever comes along with 10 years of service time. If you'd like to school me on that, send me a DM and I'll read it. Let's see here. Next thing, I don't know if y'all remember the Yerminator, Yermin Mercedes. He was claimed off the waivers by the Giants. I have my beef with Yermin Mercedes. He's a bum. Don't like him. Swings 3-0 in blowouts. And yeah, man, against pitchers that don't pitch, there's fucking throwing pus balls, kind of like some of you fucking bush leaguers throwing that poo slingers. So yeah, anyways, he was claimed off waivers by the Giants. He's now with the Giants. I hope he fails. I really don't like the guy. I remember the last time I was on here by myself, way back when. It was probably about a year ago, actually. I gave like a rundown on the numbers on this guy from the day that he hit that kind of controversial home run and his manager Tony La Russa didn't back him up. I gave a rundown of the numbers on just on his regression from that point forward, and up until I think that maybe like the next day he was sent down to AAA and hasn't been back up ever since. So anyways, the dude's a bum. Don't care for him. I hope he fails in the Giants organization. Moving right along. Speaking of failures, Pablo Sandoval, he trucks a catcher in the Mexican leagues. So this kind of just only ties into us as a podcast because the catcher that got trucked was the catcher for the Zaraperos de Saltillo, right? And our guy, Jose El Manny Rodriguez, I can never say that shit fast. He plays on that same team as the catcher. And I'm hoping to have him on real soon to kind of get his thoughts on what exactly happened with all that. Get some insider info, get some insight. And of course, the dude's a fucking gem. Great fucking interview that we had with him. Go check that out. And great fucking guy, full of energy, and great on the microphone too. Great talker. But yeah, so he was there. Kind of asked for his opinion, and he was kind of like, "Well, why don't we save it?" So then we're gonna save it. We're gonna save it for you Bush Leaguers. So look forward to that in the hopefully in the very near future. So moving on to the next thing, the Cincinnati Reds, they wore Tommy Pham T-shirts before the first game against San Francisco earlier this week. And it's kind of in reference to the whole fantasy football league that they had, and Tommy Pham punching Jock Peterson and all that good stuff. Well, their shirts were pretty cool. Like, it's pretty creative, and I'm curious how much Tommy Pham paid them to actually wear these shirts. But you know how, like, in the old Batman live action show, they'd have like a boom, pow, bam little graphic that would pop up whenever there was a punch thrown. Well, it was like that on the chest of the shirt, but it said "fam" instead of "bam" or something like that. So the shirt was cool, the idea was cool, but the guy Tommy Pham, the dude's whack. So again, if anybody knows how much he paid his teammates to wear those shirts, please let us know. Bryce Harper is out with a thumb fracture. Sucks a lot for Phillies fans and for the team. The dude's a stud, fucking reigning MVP. He was potentially on his way to, a second consecutive MVP. But now it looks like, depending on how long he's out, doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Let's see. We're going to save this one. Okay. Zach Greinke, he chucks a fan's baseball for his own amusement. So I guess a fan was trying to get an autograph from Greinke. And he goes and grabs the ball, kind of just looks at it, and then he just chucks it as far as he fucking can. And the fan asks him, why'd you do that? The fuck, bro? And I guess Greinke was like, I threw it for my own amusement. And Zach Greinke is a certified fucking weirdo. Mariners Angels, talked about it earlier. Got into a huge fucking fight. Probably the best one of the year so far. Probably is going to be hard to beat, but Jesse Winker was at the plate. Big Wink. He gets drilled in the ass cheek, and by the pitcher's last name was Wantz. So I guess Wantz, he wanted all the smoke or something because Big Wink didn't take too kindly to getting plunked in the booty. Guess he don't like that booty action. So he starts kind of chirping a little bit, starts chirping at the Angels dugout, and then he just starts walking directly at them, and then it was this whole ruckus, and both teams ended up all over each other, and then you start seeing all these punches thrown, and not sure how many of them landed. I'm looking forward to the John Boy breakdown. Hopefully when that comes out, I'm sure it will come out. We'll share that so you guys could all check it out, but I'm sure you'll see it anyways. So how many ejections there were? I don't know. I think it was like 8 or something like that. But overall, good baseball brawl to say the least. We'll see what ends up coming out of it. I think it was also too kind of like a retaliation for throwing at Mike Trout's head the night before or something like that. Maybe because Mike Trout's just absolutely raping them with all these fucking bombs that he's hitting against them. I think he's like the all-time leader in bombs hit against the Mariners or something like that. I saw some kind of you think that's part of my Bowski buffet, right? Something like that. Mike Trout has the most home runs against the Mariners all time career, something like that. Let me see. Sticking with the Angels themes, Shohei Ohtani had back-to-back games with 2 career highs, right? With career highs. So he had 8 RBIs in one game. And then the next day, he proceeded to come out and, because since he's a two-way player, if you didn't know that, then get out from under that fucking rock. In the next game, he had a career high of 13 strikeouts as a pitcher in one game, and breaks Babe Ruth's little record that he had, I guess. Come on, like, first of all, Babe Ruth he's a fucking fraud. And second, Shohei Ohtani is greater than Babe Ruth. And if you didn't know that, now you know. And speaking of bum Yankees, the Yankees got no hit on Saturday. It was a combined no hitter against the versus the Astros. And in the Sunday game, the game after, they're getting no hit probably through like into the 7th inning, something like that. And of course, I'm seeing this score and I'm like, oh fuck, the fucking Yankees are about to get no hit back to back. It was probably the first time in history that something like that would have ever happened. But no, unfortunately, they broke up the no hitter. They came back and tied the game, and then they ended up walking off against fucking who hit it. Aaron Judge was facing Ryan Presley or something like that, and he hits a fucking bomb, walked it off. Aaron Judge is a bum. I said it. Come at me. I don't care. He's a Yankee, and I hate the Yankees. Shout out to all my Yankee lovers. So that's about it. We're going to keep this one short, 30 minutes. I guess we had the DH show last time, and this one is going to be the one with only Bowski. So if you made it this far, thank you for bearing with me the whole 31 minutes and 22 seconds. I really appreciate you guys, sending us your Sunday League content. Keep tagging us in your stuff. It's a lot easier to reshare it when you tag us. It's starting to become, I don't want to say that the DMs are getting flooded, but to, sifting through some stuff, it's, just tag us. It's so much easier. And, love all you Bush Leaguers for it. Appreciate everything you guys do. You guys are out there grinding every Sunday. We're in here grinding for you guys so we can talk about it. You guys can listen to us. Because we're all grinding, man. It's just, baseball teaches you how to grind. Appreciate that shit. And, don't forget where you came from. Enjoy it. Enjoy this fucking game that we love called baseball. So, we'll see you guys next week. Keep grinding. Keep doing the damn thing. Stop fucking drinking so goddamn much. I'm just kidding. Drink as much as you want. But more importantly, don't forget your umpire fees. $5. Peace, motherfuckers.